Now, I've been streaming quite a lot recently on Football Manager 2022 on twitch.tv/Omega Gaming, and I noticed that crosses seem to be really overpowered again. So it gave me a bit of an idea. How can I utilize this using the new target forward role? And it's not new, they've changed the name from target man to target forward. Obviously that's fantastic for when they bring the women's football into the game in the future, and I've decided to sign Andy Carroll for Man City. Obviously, Andy Carroll is a free transfer at the start of the game. He was released last season by Newcastle, who have just come into a lot of money, in case you didn't know. And I thought, well, can I make him win the Golden Boot? Can I make him the top scorer of the Premier League in a season? I think it's possible. So I've designed this tactic to really utilize Andy Carroll's strengths and to see whether crossing is as overpowered as it might be. Gegenpress. We'll start with a gegenpress. Of course, he is on target forward on attack. The only thing I'm giving him is to shoot more often. That's all I want you to do, Andy. Just want you to shoot. I want you to score goals. Now, we're going to use two inverted wingers, one on support, one on attack. The on attack one has cross more often. Cross aim at target forward. We are aiming for Andy Carroll, of course. The same as this, but of course we're staying wider. We're trying to create these chances to actually cross the ball into him, which I think makes sense. Box to box midfielder, deep line playmaker. Two roles that I really like together. Now, because we've got two complete wing-backs on attack, who, if you look at their duties, crosses more often, crosses from the byline, gets further forward. We want that to happen. Man City have some really good fullbacks who have that ability. I decided to give the halfback role on defence. I'm trying to use that, and I actually think it's been quite a good role this season in this iteration of Football Manager. Two ball-playing defenders and a sweeper keeper on attack. Now, we have an attacking mentality. In possession, we're going to try and overlap. We're going to be a bit more direct with a higher tempo. This could be higher. However, I'm fully aware Andy Carroll is so injury prone and he literally has no fitness. The only thing that's going to stop Andy Carroll from being top scorer is not Mohamed Salah, it's not Romelu Lukaku, it's not even Cristiano Ronaldo. It's going to be Andy Carroll and his hamstrings, which are made of cheese string. Of course, we're going to try and play for set pieces. Now, I could have selected hit early crosses, but I do not think that really works well. I think we're better off creating better chances for Andy Carroll using work the ball into the box. Hit early crosses implies that it's going to be slapped in there early, and I think he's not going to be in position for that yet. He's not quick enough. He doesn't have the best movement to peel off a defender, for instance. I think we're better off letting him amble into the box on his Zimmer frame. He's 32. We're just wait for him to get into the box so our players can, find a good position by the byline and then cross it in instead of hitting early ones from the halfway line where Andy Carroll still stood in the centre circle or something. I don't know. And of course, we're floating these crosses in because float crosses implies that you're getting more height on the delivery, trying to find a player who has a height advantage. That, hopefully, is Andy Carroll. He's 6'4", he has great jump and reach, good strength. In transition, then, we are using the gegenpress, of course, to distribute the ball to the fullbacks. And out of position, we're much high line of engagement, high defensive line. We're pushing really high up so that he doesn't have to come back that much. I'm really thinking about his fitness here. Again, trigger press, most often. Not all the time, Andy. Don't you worry about it. You just stay in the middle of the pitch, let everybody else press around you. Now, set pieces, of course, are going to play a factor into this. So I have Andy Carroll attacking that near post with the corner being aimed at that near post. I think that obviously worked last year. It seems to be working this year as well in this version of Football Manager. Let me know, by the way, if you're finding anything else that seems to be working. Long throws apparently is back. I haven't really tried that. Here. Penalties, I'll be honest, I forgot about it at the start of the season. But we'll sort that out midway through. So I bring you off at our first stop in this little experiment. We have just come off the back of a 4-0 win against Chelsea. We're only in the 9th of October and we are in 5th place. 15 points from 7 games. That's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, we've lost 2 games, one against Everton, one against Arsenal. What is interesting though is the 5 that we've won, and we've won 5 on the bounce as well. So we actually lost our first 2 games. We haven't conceded a goal. Genuinely 5-0, 5-0, 3-0, 4-0, 4-0. That's pretty good. That's insanely good. And in other competitions, we actually top our Champions League group and we're through to the Carabao third round. I don't think that's actually started for us yet. So, Premier League, Andy Carroll he scored a lot of goals so far. He scored 12. He actually has 12 goals with a 7.69 average rating in just 11 games. He's 2-star. By the way, the contract that we signed him on, because he is a free transfer like I mentioned, he asked for an emergency backup. And we've been playing him as a regular star. He's appeared all 11 games so far, and he seems to have been doing fantastic. And we can see here where the goals have been coming from. That 4-0 win against Chelsea, by the way, Andy Carroll bagged 2 of them. He also managed to get a brace in the Watford game, where we most recently won 4-0 as well. Back-to-back 4-0 Premier League wins, back-to-back Andy Carroll braces. And to show what an incredible striker he really is, Andy Carroll got a hat-trick against Crystal Palace in a 5-0 victory. You cannot write this. It is unbelievable how this is actually working. So, a change I have made is I've put Andy Carroll on penalties because, of course, now he's going to score more goals. And I need him for those goals because if we do take a look at the Premier League, he has 9 goals, but Aubameyang has 7, Lukaku has 6. We can't take any risks. If he gets a big injury, then we're screwed because we know, I don't think he's had an injury yet, but he's probably due one, knowing his pulled calf. No, that was ages ago, right? That's fine. That's not this season. So what I've also decided to do is his training half intensity. Andy, barely want you to train. I was actually fully tempted to go down to no pitch or gym work, but I thought, no, let's give him just half intensity and just see how that goes. Okay, we're back in February, the 6th of February, so we've got about 4 months left of the season, and Andy Carroll is our top scorer and our highest average rating. He genuinely is our best player this season. 35 goals he scored. We are starting to, Arsenal are kind of running away with it, to be honest. Arsenal and Liverpool. We are 49 points, so we're 6 points behind Liverpool. We've climbed back into the top 4, which is the main thing, because I was actually worried at one point that Andy Carroll was going to be scoring loads of goals, but we were going to get sacked, so we couldn't necessarily see it. Thankfully, I think we might be okay with that now. In other competitions, we're against Zenit in the first round of the Champions League after getting through the group stage. We've been knocked out of both the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But this is still working. He is still our top scorer, and he is still getting more goals than games. And I think, of course, he is going to be our highest average rating. He's even picked up 4 assists himself. He's turned 33 and he is living his best life, is what the kids say, apparently. So again, recently, he's been banging in the goals against some of the big teams. He's got 1 there against Burnley. He's also got a brace here in a 5-1 victory against Everton. He has 2. He has a brace against Manchester United in a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford in the Manchester derby. Yeah, he scored 4 in a row. 5 in 4 games in this run here. That's insane. That is insane. And if he scored in this game against Brentford, it would have been 7 games in a row. You'd have been breaking records for Manchester City. Right, no changes to be made. I don't think we need to touch anything. The training thing seems to be working. I don't think he's picking up any injuries, like significant ones anyway. Yep, still nothing. So the half intensity training seems to be working. Let's carry on to the end of the season and keep all of our fingers and toes crossed, because currently he is 9 goals ahead of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's actually running away with this. And we are back at the end of the season. 26th of May, Manchester City have finished in 3rd place. Yeah, it's not great. 9 points behind leaders Liverpool and Arsenal, by the way, who lost they lost the league the last game of the season in a 1-0 loss to Newcastle. That's disappointing. However, we've had a great run at the end of the season, including the Manchester derby, which we won 2-1 at the very end. How has Andy Carroll done? It could go like completely tits up. If he's got an injury which lasts the rest of the season and Arsenal's been playing that well, Aubameyang could have got that 9 goals very easily. We're fingers crossed that did not happen. The Champions League, unfortunately, we were knocked out by Chelsea in the quarterfinals, so that's quite disappointing. That was our last little cup run for him to get more momentum, but of course it means that he is a little bit more fresh for the Premier League. That's not a bad thing. And would you believe it, he has scored in total 51 goals in 52 appearances, which is amazing, and I'm actually gutted it wasn't more goals than games. The fact that he's dropped down to 1.5 star after scoring that amount of goals and having the highest average rating of the team is incredible. His physicals are on the complete decline, his agility is losing, but he still has that jump reach and he still has that heading ability and strength. And I can actually confirm that he won the Golden Boot. He has done it. 40 goals in the Premier League. 40, which means if he did play all 38 games, he scored more goals than games, breaking the record of the most goals scored ever in a Premier League campaign. 40 goals in 38 games, 4 assists, only 7 player of the matches, a 7.5 average rating from a free transfer in Andy Carroll. I'm telling you now, crosses, they work big time. Some of the remaining goals that we had at the end here, I mean, we had an Andy Carroll goal against Manchester United. Not only that, but the end of the season also had a 3-0 victory against Villa where Andy Carroll scored all 3 goals. Okay, one of them was a corner, the other one came in from a throw-in. It wasn't directly a throw-in, it was, crossed into him. But still, he is scoring these goals. And the last one we can see here, Bernardo runs through and Andy Carroll is just at the back post, waiting for one to be popped in. There he is, middle of the pitch, even middle of the box. Heads it into the top corner. There's just no stopping him. Crosses are fantastic in this game, viewers. If you can get yourself a target forward, get yourself a target forward. I've actually done a few videos now where some wonder kids would make fantastic target forwards. I'm going to leave a link to one right here. Go and check it out. The guy is 6'7". Hope you enjoyed this video. Smash a like on it and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.